This was camp last night. Man, there was a storm that came through hailing, and wow, it was a mess. Kept me pretty dry. Of course, I've got this tarp corner lifted up for the day. I'm here for the day, but last night I had it buttoned down. Kept me pretty dry. Of course, a little moisture, but hey, the wind was blowing about 50 miles an hour. I thought the tarp was, I'm just glad the tarp didn't come up out of the ground. So anyway, my hammock did well, underquilt did well, stayed warm, and my underquilt jacks are better. My hammock is the Hennessy Hyper Light, and man, small hammock, really good hammock. I really enjoy it. Lightweight, does all it needs to do for me. And I swapped out these suspensions to these whoopee slings, and really like the whoopee slings, and just connected them there with a Marlin hitch, and it's just on the knot there with the hitch and tree straps. My ridgeline here, I've got it lower. It rained hard last night, so I've got it lower on my hammock than normal. But this ridgeline, I think I got it from whoopieslings.com as well. The same place I got the whoopee slings. So really love the whoopee slings. You can slide the tarp back and forth with this prusik knot, center it over your hammock, real easy to set up. And anyway, I really like my setup. My pack I have hanging here on a little lightweight pack hanger made DIY from a good friend of mine, Couch to Trail. Man, it's a lightweight line. He's got a loop in the end of it, and it just threads around. It comes through your handle on your pack and then clips right in back into the line. Pretty neat setup, and I really like it. It's been very useful, and man, I appreciate it, man. Sleeps here. Man, had a great day 28. Day 28 I stayed up on Max Patch, just to the north there in the woods, and wow, it was a great spot, and just relaxing and just listening to the birds and all that was going on. And man, I'm telling you, God is faithful. Day 29. Man, I got an early start this morning. I wouldn't call myself an early riser by any means, but I did get started very early. And I got up before the sun came up and packed up and headed out, and got a long day ahead of me. I'm gonna try to, might even try to make it into Hot Springs, which I think is between 19 and 20 miles. Here on the trail, and I top this little ridge, and I come to this little draw or valley. Now what I usually do is I just stop here for just a second, scan the valley or the draw to see if there's any kind of wildlife or anything else that I might like to explore before I go blasting down into it, making a lot of noise. Trail talk for the day. Drinking water. Wow, here's a neat little stream. Man, looks cool and inviting. Looks like the perfect little mountain stream. There are hundreds of these all through this area, and I have seen hikers just put their mouth right down at the ground and drink the water. You probably know that my MSR water filter froze and basically ceased to work anymore for me. During that interim time, there was a couple of days there between when my MSR died and when I purchased the Sawyer Squeeze. I couldn't filter my water, so I had to treat it. So what I do is I carry with me about a 1 ounce little small container with household bleach. That's sodium hypochlorite, and it's not the scented version, the lemon kind. You don't want that kind, you want the original. And it works. It only takes a couple of drops in your container and you'll kill all the nasty bugs. I am going to insert a picture right here. Now what you just saw was a spring that was coming up out of the ground, and you probably couldn't tell, but down the little valley there a little ways was wild hog, an area where they just tore up the ground. So what looks pristine, the wild hogs have defecated into all kinds of things there right there in the middle of the stream. In my opinion, it's definitely worth filtering your water for the safety and not getting sick. It's just not worth drinking straight from the ground. Whatever you do, take care of your drinking water, filter it, treat it, be safe. Of course, there are other sources of treatment. I know you can get iodine, or Aquamira has a good one. I've seen a lot of hikers using that. Just different methods. Just make sure to do it. Just out here walking today, listening to the birds, the woodpeckers and other birds just chirping away. And I'm just thinking, man, I am blessed. I am blessed to be out here on the trail, and very thankful to be out here experiencing God's creation, and just listening to those birds just always reminds me of God's faithfulness. And man, I'm just blessed. That's all I can say. So that was Nomad from Colorado, Transformer from Australia, and Willow from Germany. Cool. Cool spot. Here at Deer Park Shelter, this is a decision point. Do I stay here tonight, go into Hot Springs in the morning, or do I push on and go into Hot Springs this evening? I've made my decision. So my decision, I'm going to Hot Springs. And let me walk and talk and tell you why I did it. If I stayed at the shelter tonight, went into Hot Springs in the morning, I'd probably get a good hot lunch, and then I'd be heading out. If I go in this evening, if I time it correctly, I hope to get a good hot meal tonight, and then in the morning I can get a good hot meal before I head out. So that means 2 meals. So even though my right shin and that blister on my right foot are letting me know they're there, food trumps pain. I don't know if you've heard of hiker hunger, but it hit me somewhere in the Smokies, and I think I could eat just about anything. But anyway, that's my decision. Walking down into Hot Springs. I think I even hear a lawnmower. So the trail comes out of the woods and pretty much into this neighborhood. Good stuff. And the sidewalk becomes the trail. I'm closing out day 29 in Hot Springs, North Carolina. There's the Welcome Center and the post office. This must be Main Street. I'm heading to get something to eat. Walking down the main street of Hot Springs, North Carolina. I pushed it in and made it. 19.9 miles, or I'd say that's close to 20. I'll take it anyway. Man, that was a pretty tough day. My legs tell me about it, but I'm going to get something to eat. Look forward to a hot meal tonight and one in the morning before I head out. So, this is Sleeves. Keep hiking. Springbrook Cottages. Right downtown Hot Springs, right here next to the railroad tracks. Turn by the railroad tracks, walk down about a block, and you'll see Springbrook Cottages. Man, I'm staying here. The lady there, her name is Carolyn. She has really helped us out. The hostels were full, and so I'm staying in one of those little cottages right over there. Good stuff. Carolyn will do you right.